Hey folks, Species 7 here, and welcome, well, to a little game that I've been spending some time with and I'm quite intrigued with. This is from Bohemia Interactive, and it is, of course, Take on Mars. And I'm sitting here in my comfy, well, slightly behind, my comfy desk in Mission Control. What do you do in Take on Mars? You are a space agency that, well, you want to eventually colonize Mars, but you're starting out at the very, very simple end of it. Things like sending up probes. Let's kind of have a look at the way things work here, shall we? You have up here a map that's going to show you various locations. This is Mars, by the way. You can also go to Deimos, which is one of Mars' moons. Jeez. Earth, although I don't know that there's actually any, well, apparently there is something going on here. I can see a couple of locked crosses, and the moon, which is apparently on its bright side right now, and the asteroid belt. Anyway, back to Mars, because this is where we're going to sort of be making our moolah for the first little bit. And you have a few places that are unlocked right at the beginning. The South Polar Cap, the Kaiser Crater, the Gale Crater, and the Gusev Crater. If you mouse over them, you'll see vehicles and missions. Now, I currently have a probe sitting here, but I still have two available missions. If we look at, say, Gale Crater, I have a probe sitting there and two missions. Gusev, no missions, no probes. South Polar Cap, no missions, no probes. Those apparently will come later. And then there's all kinds of them still to be unlocked, like Victoria Crater, Mars Orbit for when you get orbiters, and etc., etc. But, well, basically what you want to do at the start of this game to make money, which is way up here, so you can do research, which is what I'll show you right after this, is start by sending very simple probes to Mars. And finding missions, like here, I've already landed a probe here, okay? So there's two missions left now. There's one up here, and if we go to mission details, it tells us what they want us to do is just examine the specified area of interest. Loosely put, drop something not too terribly bright on top of it that has a camera that'll take a little bit of film on the way down. So that looks reasonable. I think we'll go with that. Vehicle details will tell you what it needs. You got to have a camera on board and a basic battery. Now you can make your own probes, or you can use ones that are already built. In this case, so you can make a new probe, starting cost of $50K, but a battery's $1,000, a camera's $1,000, so either way it's going to cost you $52K, or you can simply use the one that's there. So we're going to do that, and it'll just sort of build it according to the specs that are needed. So what you want to do is go to Launch Vehicle, and that'll bring this window up. And if you center below and wheel your mouse wheel in, it'll take you up to the spot. Oops. And left click. Hit launch. Now this pays $150K plus $10K if you successfully do the exploration, i.e. film a little bit on the way down. Here's the probe falling through space. You can see here's our camera. We only have the one, and it's a very simple camera right now. And basically this thing has no, it's not meant to fly around or pilot or do any silliness. It's just supposed to drop in hopefully the right area. Unfortunately it's nighttime right now, so we can't really see that well. But here we are, and Explore is completed. That's worth $10K to us. We can hear we've deployed the little chute, or whatever. I guess it does have some sort of retro, because you can hear a jet or something coming on. It doesn't really say what the power end of things are here. And there we are. We've hit the ground, and we're rolling over, and rolling over, and there we've come to a stop, and we've kind of taken a blurry picture of the night sky. We can't really, we could take a picture, I suppose. There we go. We took a postcard from Mars and unlocked an achievement. We can go to night vision. We can adjust the brightness a little bit. Not sure. Let's take a night vision picture. Perfect. Alright. And we'll go back to our standard HUD. Now, when you're time to go, because we have made our goal here, right? All they wanted from us was to achieve that. Oh, if you want to, here, I'll show you here. The interest. Oh, that's our other ship that's here. So we're going to disconnect, and that'll take us back to mission control. And we'll have made about 160,000. Now, it did cost us 52,000 to launch that, so we still did pretty good, right? And here we are back at mission control. And if we look at our notifications, we'll see that we have a couple of new wiki entries, which is the Mars wiki that we're building here. And we have the science mission reference 3923 is complete, which we made some extra money from. So, very cool. So where does the rest of this stuff go? Well, you can also go here. This is where you build your probes. Now, we're not ready, I don't think yet, to send a lander or rover or anything like that. But while we're in here, yeah, you got to be to go through decontamination, because that is a clean room, right? The tolerances that they build these things on, you're not going to get a speck of dust in there. You know, it would screw it up completely. And from here is where you will build your probes, etc., right? You just go into construction, and you can go load existing vehicles and change them, or you can create new vehicles. You can manage your created vehicles. But what we actually want to look at first, because it's a while before we need to do any of this. I'm not sure what's with the weird lighting thing that goes on here. Alright, tech research. Now, I'm currently researching a few things. The probe was given to me right from the start, but I'm researching a small lander. Alright, and if you click on like a lander, you'll get these lines down across the bottom, and if you follow them along, they'll show you what it is you need to research to make a small lander. Okay, so you need this, which is a lander chassis. If we move along to optics and electronics, you need an internal electronics kit. If we move along even further to software and communications, we do need automatic lander navigation software. And lastly but not leastly, if we go over to chemistry and geology, we need heat resistant ceramics researched. Oh, that isn't lastly, I'm sorry, there is one more, of course. Physics and thermodynamics, atmospheric entry aerodynamics. There we go. That, once we've researched all of those things, and if you look at them, it'll tell you it's going to take you, remaining time, 3 hours 24 minutes. Alright, in total research time was almost 5 hours. Alright, so let's close this. Okay, I'm also currently researching a small lander arm. Alright, nothing comes this far on the lander arm, so there we go. It required this, this, and this. Alright, now every time you complete one of these larger projects, i.e. once I get a small lander complete, then I'll have the choice of sending blind probes or an actual lander where I'll be able to do things like take series of photographs in a circle, and you know, eventually put soil probes on them, things like that. Yes, you can play this video game here, play Grab-On. I haven't tried it, and I'm not going to right now. We're going to go back to the desk. And each time you successfully build something new, you'll unlock new missions on your map. And that's basically the way it works. I mean, there's only so much you can do by dropping a probe, like a big stone with a, you know, a GoPro strapped to it. That's only going to, you know, pay the bills for so long. Eventually you want the kind of missions where you drop a rover and it, you know, sets up a radio tower or something. These are the sort of things. But anyway, guys, I'm going to, I think, call it there. That gives us a sort of a base idea of what's going on with this game. Let's say it's really intriguing. They are still working on it. It has been released, but it is still being worked on, so it's not really early access. But there you go. Like I said, I thought I'd run a little series of it because it's quite an interesting game. Well, when you start, by the way, these screens, oops, are blank. I'm not sure. Loading Kaiser. Oh, it takes you back to the actual. Okay, I didn't know that. It takes you right back to the actual camera itself. We're going to disconnect once again. We can also go, as I said, to the other probe that's here, but let's just disconnect and go back. Yeah, I had no idea. I'd never actually, I thought maybe it would go to an earlier screen, but at one point all these screens were blank. This was the first one I took, the only one I landed in the daytime. So it does follow actual cycle. This one I actually was playing this afternoon. It was the first time I tried a probe. So it happened to be a light cycle on that part of the planet. Right now it's on the dark cycle. So there you go, guys. That's been our first look at Bohemia Interactive's take on Mars. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. The game is available on Steam, Good Old Games, and probably anywhere you shop for these things. And feel free to hit the like button. It really helps me out and lets me know that you do support my channel and my series. Take care of each other, folks. Feel free to share and favorite and all the YouTubey stuff. Ciao for now. Have a great evening.